My future in-laws hired a private investigator to dig up dirt on my working-class family, but they had no idea what secret they'd actually uncovered. Last month, my fiancé Daniel's parents invited us to dinner at their country club to discuss wedding plans. We'd been engaged for 3 months, together for 4 years. His mother, Patricia, waited until after the main course to drop her proposal. She wanted us to have 2 separate weddings. The first would be at the Fairmont Hotel downtown, black tie, her guest list only, about 300 of their business associates and society friends. The second would be a casual gathering in my hometown for what she called your side. She actually said it would be better this way since my family would feel more comfortable with their own kind and wouldn't have to worry about proper etiquette or formal wear expenses. Daniel just sat there cutting his steak while his mother explained how this was really a kindness to my family, saving them from embarrassment. My parents run a small bakery in the suburbs. My dad drives a delivery truck on weekends for extra income. My mom works the register every morning before her shift at the hospital where she's a nurse's aide. But they raised 3 kids who all graduated college, own their home outright, and have never asked anyone for anything. When I told Daniel that night I was hurt by his parents' suggestion, he said his mother meant well, and I was being too sensitive. He kept saying they were offering to pay for everything. So what was the problem? The problem was they were ashamed of where I came from. His mother started sending me helpful articles about how to navigate social differences in marriage and links to etiquette courses. She offered to take me shopping for appropriate clothes for their events. She even suggested I might want to modify my accent with a speech coach she knew. Daniel thought she was being generous. Then Patricia started making the actual arrangements. She put deposits down on the Fairmont, hired a planner, and selected a menu, all without asking me anything. When I protested, she said I could plan the other party however I wanted. She'd already told her friends about the Fairmont wedding, posted in her charity group's newsletter about her son's upcoming society wedding. My family wasn't mentioned once. 2 weeks before the planned Fairmont date, Patricia called an emergency meeting at her house. She discovered something concerning and needed to address it immediately. We arrived to find Daniel's father, Richard, his sister, Louise, and Patricia's brother, James, a lawyer, all waiting in the living room. Patricia held up a manila folder like evidence in a trial. I had a private investigator look into your family, she announced. Standard procedure for protecting our assets. Daniel finally spoke up, asking what she was talking about. She opened the folder, pulling out papers. Your father, she said, looking at me with disgust, has a criminal record. My stomach dropped, but not for the reason she thought. She continued, voice rising with indignation. Arrested at 19. Spent 6 months in county jail. You never told us your father was a criminal. This changes everything. We cannot have someone like that at the Fairmont. Can you imagine if the Hendersons found out? If the country club knew? Richard nodded gravely. James started talking about prenuptials and asset protection. Louise mentioned their family's reputation taking generations to build. Daniel was staring at me, waiting for an explanation. I stood up slowly, my hands surprisingly steady. You're right. My father was arrested at 19. Patricia's face lit up with vindication. He was arrested, I continued, at a sit-in protest at Woolworths in 1964. He spent 6 months in jail for demanding to be served at a whites-only counter. He has that record because he fought for basic human dignity. And you know what? He's prouder of that arrest record than anything else in his life. He framed the newspaper clipping. It hangs in our living room next to his discharge papers from Vietnam and my mom's nursing certificate. The room went silent. I turned to Daniel. Your mother hired a private investigator to dig up dirt on my family because she thinks we're beneath her. And she found out my father is a civil rights hero, a man who went to jail for his principles and then served his country in war, while your grandfather was getting draft deferments for bone spurs. Louise gasped. Patricia's face went red, then white. That's different, she stammered. That was a lie, I finished. Yeah, my dad told me about serving with kids whose rich fathers bought their way out. Funny how your investigator missed your family's little secrets. Or did you think nobody kept those records? I pulled my engagement ring off, placed it on their marble coffee table. Keep your Fairmont wedding. Keep your shame and your investigators and your 2 wedding plan. My family has more dignity in their work-worn hands than you have in your entire portfolio. Daniel called after me as I left, but he didn't follow. His mother was already shrieking about me embarrassing them, threatening them, being ungrateful. 3 days later, Daniel left 16 voicemails saying his family would reconsider having everyone at one wedding. I never returned them. My father, when I finally told him everything, just hugged me and said he was proud of me for standing up for myself. Some people, he said, are so poor all they have is money.